Knock, knock, knocking on Vanaheim's door. It's Sanctuary of Reality, my comic review series. I've apparently turned into an anchorman, fighting frizzies at 11. Desist Ascension with Church and State, Chapter 55, concluding Subbook 6, which was titled The Final Ascension, in Cerebus issue 106, Greatness Among Flies. Fred, Ethel, and the little fellow with the hair, now with Cerebus in its grasp, points out the fact that it's grown nearly double in size. It, or rather specifically the artist head of the being, waxes philosophical about the law of consequence while toying with Cerebus. It talks about how its life is becoming unto an art form now that it's a messiah, an ultimate representation of duality, while Cerebus is just an anomaly, which needs to be disposed of. But it's worried that doing so might have repercussions against it. Artist's dense dialogue isn't seemingly sinking in for Cerebus, so he switches to something simpler, asking him to make believe he's a common housefly who becomes capable of thought and discovers he can save a chemist from possible harm by means of self-sacrifice. Basically, the Troika creature is trying to get Cerebus to kill himself, eventually setting him down on the edge of the tower to go ahead and do the deed. Cerebus, in a daze from being tossed about, soon falls, though not over the edge of the outside of the tower, but rather the edge of the inn. He hides out there while the artist demands he comes out, until informed by the Ethel side that it's time to get into position and end the ascension. Will Fred, Ethel, and the little chap reach Vanaheim before Cerebus? What's unique about this one is the way it's presented. It's mostly 6 panels a page. Top 3, the main action. Bottom 3, close-ups of Cerebus. It's very different, though I'm not a big fan of it, as pretty much every upper panel has a ton of heavy dialogue and the bottom is completely textless. So the way I read it, at least, was top, bottom. And I kind of interrupted the flow of the dialogue. You know, I mean, if you read it, maybe if I read it the different way, all text, the top, and then the bottom, maybe it would have given me a different feel. But I don't know, I just didn't dig it as much as I thought I would. But I do dig the fact that it is something different, and you know, you can't fault them for can't fault Dave and Gerhard for trying something new. But I just maybe I read it wrong. Who knows? You read it, find out what works best for you. That's the whole point of this, isn't it? This was an alright issue. I guess I was kind of, I want to say expecting, so much as hoping for a grander showdown between the Fred Ethel artist creature and Cerebus. But of course, there's not really much that could have logically been done in this battle, considering the size of the creature compared to Cerebus, who is already, he's shorter than an average human as it is. And the creature is like, getting bigger all the time. And he's got no cannon. He's got no sword. He doesn't even have, he can't even talk his way out of this one. Really, he just kind of lucks out in the end, doesn't he? He just keeps stalling until things work out for him. That's kind of what Cerebus does of a lot, for the most part, come to think of it. He's often an unwitting bystander in his own destiny. He'll start something, it'll take off, and he just goes along for the ride, and it gets him into trouble as a result. But like I said previously, when he actually does get active in his own destiny, that's when things get a lot more interesting to me. Next time, to the moon, Alice!